man. And what I find cool is that, like, as we get older and stuff, it's cool to still be connected with people that you've been connected with since those days.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because,
Right.
like, I
That's a
feel
blessing, man. It's tough.
it
You only
is.
have so much time for so many people and so much energy, right?
It is, man. But I feel like when you establish like proper relationships with people, like, good solid foundations between two people, right? Like, it just goes such a long way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like when we're talking about doing this together, I'm like, yo, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
this is dope, you know? Like, I feel honored to get to play a part in one of my boys like building something.
For sure. It's so chill. Like, yo, you're just sitting down and having a conversation. There's no, like, I don't have a set amount of, so, Zach, tell me about what you did in this year. It's like,
Yeah.
we're just talking, and that's what I love about this platform. It's like, there's no pressure on us. No one's telling us what to say. We're just chatting, man.
Yo, and that's the thing, man. Like, it's cool because I feel like podcasts are the new wave of like watching people do things nowadays. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
like, and back in the day, there'd be like TV shows, movies,
Radio, this,
radio,
that.
exactly, yeah. But now podcast is that new source of, like, I guess, radio show
Oh,
talk.
yeah. We have our full-time, like, 9 to 5, whatever, but we want to do so much other stuff on the side, right?
That's the thing.
Like,
And like it's like nowadays with the internet and everything, it's so much easier to do things on the side.
exactly.
There's so many different ways to make money,
Yeah.
and it's cool when people have the same mentality of, like, wanting to do something on the side, right?
Exactly.
Like, that's the thing, man. Like, when you think about, 20, 30 years ago, it was a lot harder to have two jobs on the go because,
Oh, yeah.
like, it literally required you to physically be in two different places, like, throughout the day. So you're, like, selling your time, right?
Exactly.
Whereas, like, when you're doing side hustles nowadays, it's like, you can be doing, podcasting, for example, or
Yep.
making videos. You can be doing, like, Uber. You can be, doing what we're doing, like throwing events, like stuff
Yeah.
like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Tell us a bit about Small World.
So Small World is a concert promotion company based in Ottawa. Our goal is to bring the most in-demand and popular hip-hop artists at the moment. It's just because, like, we feel that Ottawa gets missed out a lot when it comes to big shows,
Oh,
big
yeah. We're
tours.
definitely slept on, man.
Yeah,
No one
man.
wants to come to Ottawa for some reason.
That's the thing, and that's what I
Yeah.
find so weird, dude, is that, like, in Ottawa alone, there's 1 million people, and then when you think about it, there's Gatineau right across the river,
Yep.
right? Like, another 300, 400,000 people,
Yep.
but yet, like, we get treated like we're some small town that's not even on the radar.
Right.
It's so weird, So, like, that's with Small World, our goal is to change that.
All the major artists kind of skip past Ottawa. Like, why don't I just go to Montreal or Toronto, obviously, Vancouver, even some other markets like Calgary, Edmonton. Like, they'll hit those up before Ottawa, the capital city of Canada.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Like, it's so slept on. It's so weird. Like, why do you even think that is? Why do you think Ottawa's so forgotten almost?
I think there's a few reasons, right? Like, for a long period of time, Ottawa's the government capital, right?
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
3 levels of government in the city.
Right.
So I feel like that plays a part into, like, how they want the city to be built.
Definitely does.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On top of that too, so right, like, think about it. The people that are working here, for the most part, are government workers. Traditionally, government workers in the past haven't been, like, their stereotype as not being, like, super, super, like, involved or outgoing or whatever. That's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
necessarily true, though, because the people in Ottawa are very, very friendly and, like, want to do stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But the thing
They
is,
just don't have the opportunity.
then there's
chance
no
to do
medium for
Yeah.
it, right? And that's the thing, right? So that's where we're stepping in to say, like, hey, you know what? Like, listen, like, right now we look at hip hop music. It's the biggest form of music in the world, like, hands down.
Yep.
But in a country of Canada where there's 36 million people, to have the capital consistently skipped out on, that means, like, there's a problem there because, what, we all know people in the city like hip hop. We all know that that's what they mess with, but
Yeah.
no one's offering it to them. So we know that there's the opportunity here.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing with Small World, right? Is we're using that opportunity to give the people of the city what they want to see.
Yeah, man.
Our main business is concerts, right? So to give you an idea of the artists we've worked with in the past, we've worked with Roy Woods, Jazz Cartier, 88 Glam,
Right.
Night Lavelle, artists like that, right? Killy as well.
Mm-hmm.
But what we're trying to do, though, is we want to start bringing the bigger shows here, right? So
Right.
not necessarily in club venues,
Okay.
right? We want to do stuff like, 1,000 people shows,
Right.
2,000 people shows,
Yeah.
stuff in that area, right? Because no one's touching it right now.
Exactly.
And so, like, one of our plans is, right, like, how do we get Ottawa to support us with this, right? Like, what venues can we work with?
Right.
What kind of artists can we bring here that the city will support? You know what I mean?
And that's tough. That's not an easy job. That's an uphill battle, man.
The one thing I do like about where the city is heading is that people's mentalities are starting to change.
Right.
So you know what I mean? There's people like us, right, who are like, you know what? Ottawa may have this old reputation, government city, boring, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But we're the ones that want to make the change now. You know what I
It's up to
mean?
the young people to do that,
It
right?
is, man. We have to celebrate our city. We have to
For
support
sure.
it. You
For
know,
sure.
that's the like people don't realize, but the only way that these things can happen and grow is if people start supporting and people start like promoting the things that are going on.
That's why the conversation's important too, man. Ottawa has artists.
Yeah,
Ottawa
man.
has
Ottawa has some dope artists,
Ottawa has
man.
dope artists, man.
Yeah, man.
And
Like,
you've probably met some of them personally, so tell me what that's been like, man.
well, the thing is, what I do like with Ottawa's music scene, right, is that like, you know, there's a lot of diversity in it. There's a lot of different sounds that come out of the city, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, there's the trappy sound, there's
Yeah.
the R&B wave, you know, there's the ones that are just very lyrically gifted, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, like, what I would like to see out of the Ottawa artist community is more collaboration with each other.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It,
Like,
it almost feels like they're working in silos. Like, no, me, I gotta get out of the city
yeah,
to get
I
clout.
gotta get out of that, and that's the thing. A lot of people have the mentality, and it's like, yeah, like I get what you're saying, I get what you're saying, but like at the same time, you know, if you really want to go far, it's important to build together.
Yeah,
You
and
know what I
embrace
mean?
where you're from, embrace your roots.
Yeah.
Like, yo, as much as like everyone wants to escape and like, I want to go here, I want to go there. Like, yeah, that's fine. This is still your home, though. This is where this is where
You'll
you're
always be
brought
from
up.
here. You know
You're
what I
from- You
mean?
can't change that as much as you want to. So I find like you might as well embrace it. Sure, you can move somewhere, experience. Like, I love traveling, man.
Yeah, same. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
very important to get out of your comfort zone as well. But that's not to say like completely shit on where you're from. You have to look inside. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you
Like,
doing with your day?
and that's the thing, right? Like, what are you doing to make the change? You
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
And like, you know, one of our goals with Small World is like, obviously with so many artists, it's hard to work with all of them on every single show we do, but we do want to give opportunities to as many artists as we can.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like all we expect back really in return is just that like we all push towards growing and building the music scene here in the city. If I'm being real with you, it's not necessarily about like, oh, this person's better than this person, or like I like this person better. Like, it's not about. There's no political shit in it. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
in reality, man, it's about like, okay, whose sound right now best matches with or best complements the artist, the headlining artist that we're bringing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
for example, we brought Maurice Moore
Yeah.
back in April, and we had Melissa Valles, we had Nathan, and we had Just Shannon on there with Maurice performing as well,
Yeah.
and Jaden too. Like that sound that we had, it fit well with what was going. You know what I
There's
mean?
a vibe.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny, man. Like, look at someone like Kylie Jenner, for example, right?
Yeah.
Like, she is literally winning at marketing. You know what I mean? Like, their team is so smart at building brands, right? Like, look at how, like, she's the world's youngest billionaire. And how old is she? Like 21 or something?
I think it's like $1 million an Instagram post. She makes like 1.5 or something $1 million. You're so much more than just a musician a lot of the time.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Like, and I think that expands beyond just like music, right? It's for like all entertainers, like comedians and like, you know, actors and specifically athletes, you know, like,
I think it's humans.
yeah.
I think, it's so absurd to think that we are meant to do only one thing and one thing only for our whole lives. Like,
Exactly,
you
man.
specialize in this one thing. You studied, you got your fucking bachelor, your master, PhD. This is it. You're doing this one thing for life, and that's it.
Honestly, it's not that necessarily that they don't want to do it. It's that they feel like the time commitment is too great for what they can handle. You know?
Okay, yeah.
And like the thing is, like let's be real. Like, you know, if somebody has a kid and somebody has a job, like, and they have
It's
a family,
tough.
it is tough. You
It's
know?
not easy.
But like no one says that you have to do it like 4 hours a day right from the bat. You know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with starting something and doing it like 30 minutes a week at first?
Just dabble.
Just dabble, just
Yeah.
experiment, and if you like it, then like, okay, maybe up that 30 minutes per week to like 30 minutes a day.
Yep.
30 minutes a day, when you think about it in the grand scheme of things, is not that much time.
No.
It's the time of a lunch hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So like there's always like, and the thing is like,
And you can always find time.
yeah, you
You
can.
can always find time. If you really care or you really actually do want to do something, you can make that time. It's about prioritizing. It's about, I'm not telling everyone, go quit their job. Like,
no,
I'm
no,
not.
no, no.
I'm not. I'm still like, fuck, I'm still working my 9 to 5 and doing like other things on the side that I enjoy. It's dope.
It is. It's a cool way to talk, man,
Yeah.
because like it's just like the whole concept of it, right? It's like everyone is taking time out of their day just to like have a conversation.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's an act that humans have lost over
Yes.
time.
Yes.
You know, everything nowadays, dude, is like phone, email, you know, like
Let me snap a pic of my food real quick. Let me just. It's all like little short interactions, long form conversation. I'm not gonna say it's getting lost because obviously we still crave it and still want to do it, but on a day-to-day basis, it's not happening as much because even though we're in such an ever-connected society, people are lonelier than ever.
yeah, well, because it's weird because like now it's not like we only live in real life, right? Like there's an online world where we all exist. You know what I mean? And like that online world has caused people, you know, it's caused impacts on people's emotions.
We approach conflict in everything that we do, but actual getting out of your way to like have an altercation with somebody to actually like, yo, bro, you step on my shoes, like,
Yeah, like exactly. That's more of what I meant. Yeah.
what are we talking about? Like, bro, we're in a jam-packed setting. Yes, I bumped into you.
Yeah.
No, I don't need to fight you right now. It's like, you trying to go, bro? Yeah,
Yeah.
no, man. Like, we don't need to do this. Like, some people are looking for it, man.
And that's the thing, which is sad. You know, like there's some people, man, that are just looking for reactions out of other people,
Yep.
and it's like, you know what? Honestly, like, what's the point of get how do you benefit from getting a reaction out of somebody else? Like, wow, you made them upset. Good job. Yeah, man. What's the point of buying all these things to impress other people? Like,
For what? Like, you'll never impress everyone.
yeah.
So why impress anyone?
And well, the thing is, exactly, it's like, why impress anyone? Like, what does having people impressed do for you? Like, oh yeah, sure, you go somewhere and people are like, wow, that person's $5,000 suit looks dope on
Like a
him.
little dopamine hit. Like,
Yeah, sure, yeah, but like other than that, it's like, man, like, what did you do?
nothing.
Nothing, you know. And it's like,
Yeah.
I feel like where the real, at least in my opinion, like where real happiness comes from, right, is like sort of spending that money on objects, and spending that money with not even on, but with the people that you want to enjoy it with. So like taking
Yeah.
people on trips,
Yeah.
you know, like having
Going to concerts.
going to concerts, yeah. Shameless plug, you know. But yeah, like man, yeah,
Smallworldlive.com.
respect. Do you know what I
like
mean?
that.
Like the idea
But
is
no,
just
I
that,
like the word live because that's what it is.
and that's the thing,
You're
right?
not
Like
watching a show tomorrow. It's
yeah,
happening now.
it's happening
And we're
live.
experiencing it live.
Like
fam.
this podcast is live right
Yeah,
now. There's
exactly.
no second takes, you know?
Exactly. That's it. That's it. We're not editing shit.
Yeah,
bro.
exactly. You know, but I like that though. That's raw. That's genuine.
Yeah,
You know,
man.
and that's what I like about this business is that like when we put on shows, we see genuine emotion.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like it's not like, you know, for example, like, oh, this nice wine glass. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm gonna have a nice, cool experience. I'll make sure when I want a fancy dinner, I'm gonna bring these ones out,
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
you know, these are dope, by the way. But like,
No, thanks, man.
but the thing is, like a concert though, like when it's a live show,
Yeah.
it's like, wow, like I'm experiencing this in the moment. I
Yep.
can't plan for this emotion rush.
Very true.
It's just happening. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yeah.
And like, yeah, man, it's
And we've
cool.
all been to a concert where it's like you almost forget you're there and you're
You're in another world.
You're in another world. You're just being encompassed by whatever artist is putting on for you. And that's
Exactly, yeah.
something that no matter you can have all the Spotify, Apple Music, you can have all the new mediums for enjoying music. You're never going to replace the feeling of being there live. Well, or like
really bad, man.
even the fucking guy can cancel on you. So
And that's dude, that's what happens sometimes. Like
Yep.
people don't understand. Like at the end of the day, we're dealing with other human beings. If something happens in that human being's life, they might not be able to perform.
Yep.
We can get that message 2 or 3 days before a show.
Damn, bro, that must like
It
sink
sucks,
your
man.
heart to the floor, though.
It sucks, man. But like at the end of the day, like
That's a business.
that's the business. And I feel like people that are not in this industry, their instinctive reaction to be like, oh, what the fuck? What do I do? And just start getting in the spiral
Yeah,
and
yeah,
start
yeah.
complaining and just be like, fuck. You know what I mean? But like in our case, it's like, okay, now that we know that's the reality, we can't change the reality. How do we mitigate this ASAP? You know what I mean? How do we get the word out that it's not going to happen on this specific date? It'll happen later on.
Yep.
And make sure that we make it up to the artist fans and our own fans.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Thanks for watching the video. Please hit like and subscribe, and if you really enjoyed this content, please support me on my Patreon page.